Good morning, Internet. Today is moving day. So my challenge today is going to be moving all of the fish room that you see behind me out to the barn. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, the first order of business is going to be moving these three tanks that currently have the Skiffia, the Limia, and the Trout Goodeids out to the barn. So I've set up some tubs out in the barn right now. They've been set up overnight. They're basically at a room temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and start getting these guys packed up, and I will check back with you later. All right, so we have gotten the tanks moved out. We've gotten the Limia, the Skiffia, and the Trout Goodeids all moved out to the barn. I'll take you out there in just a second, and we'll have a look at the setup out there. We're now back in the barn. I have three tanks running out here, if you want to call them tanks. They're two plastic buckets. They're probably about 20 gallons each. I got them at a Tractor Supply Company. And then I do have a 20-gallon extra high that I found at a garage sale probably about a year ago or so that I have some of the fish in. One of the things I would recommend is, even if you like upgrade equipment, I always keep the stuff. I never really sell a lot of it. You never know when you're going to need it. One of those is this Active Aqua air pump. I originally ran this in my fish room. It's got 8 nozzles on it. I've had 2 or 3 of those. I kept them around. Basically, they're pretty useful. They're low wattage. I think they're like 15 watts. So I'm running these 3 tanks on that right now with sponge filters, the original sponge filters that were in their tanks. So we transferred the bacteria over and everything. So that section is now done. So our next step is going to be finishing up this rack. So as I step back here, at least some of the fish that are in the bucket are going to go on this rack. This rack is going to be 4 55 gallons. I believe a couple of the tanks I have are actually 40 gallons. So it'll be basically 4 4-foot long tanks going to go on that rack. I believe they're about 18 inches wide. So they're all about that size range. This is just your basic cinder block rack. And then in the middle, since the floor in here is not perfect, I was getting a little bit of, I guess I'll call it a crown on the top of the wood on the bottom. So I'm actually going to reinforce the middle section of this with wood, which is different than the other videos that you've seen on this particular stand design. So I'll go ahead and get started with that, and then I'll catch up with you guys once it's finished. All right, just to give a little update on how we're progressing here with the move. As of right now, we have the stand built now. So basically all of the 2x4s are in the middle. It's nice and snug. So if you can see here, I have 140 gallon on the top, 55 on the bottom. There's going to be another 55. Right now I have the goldfish in it. That's on the list of things to get done today. And then I'm gonna have another tank up here on top as well. I believe it's another 40 tall or long, excuse me. We'll do some more work out here, and we'll give you an update. Hi, we're back again in the old fish room. Right now the next plan is we're gonna take down the 2 29-gallon tanks up here. Right now they're on a central filter, which is down here. So we're gonna shut that all down and get that all taken down. I'll be back in just a moment once that's all completed. All right, we're back again. Right now it's about 7:20 at night. Still on July 4th. So here's where we're at right now. This is going to be kind of the last entry for today. So we have the 90 gallons sitting there. I'm having kind of a thought of maybe not using the stand for the 90 gallon, and having basically the 90 gallon, the 120 that's in the basement on the bottom, and then the 75s on top, kind of making like a dual stand. Anyway, I just wanted to update that. I'm still kind of thinking that through, how I'm going to build it, but that's one of the thoughts I'm having. Over here, this tank is now filled. The water is a little murky with the sand I put in. The tank right next to it now has sand in it. I'm just gonna let it dry a little bit more from the silicone I did earlier today, and then I'll spread the sand out, put some water in it tomorrow. This tank hasn't had anything added to it yet, but it is getting up to temperature. All the fish in here are doing pretty well still. There's nothing looks distressed or anything. Everything's staying at a pretty decent temperature in here for them, so I think everything's okay. I have filled the Rubbermaid tub. I've had this Rubbermaid tub for quite a while. I am going to put the 2 goldfish in that. I really haven't covered the goldfish much on this channel, but basically my kids won them at a carnival 2 years ago. They were probably maybe an inch long. Now they're probably about a good 8-9 inches. They're right now in a 55. The 55 that the goldfish are in are going to go in the hole that's right there. So that's going to happen tomorrow, and then this rack will be done, and then hopefully we can get everything up to temperature, get the sump put on it, and get that rack completely moving, which will go a long way to moving the rest of the system. Everything else, we do have this 29 that's in here. The 29 rack is probably going to go on that side over there, and I also have a 40 breeder rack upstairs that I need to figure out what I'm going to do with as well as the 150 that the discus are in, and then I do need to get the big tank. Probably I'll move the stand to that out here maybe tomorrow or Friday, and then from there we're gonna have to get some help to move the tank out there itself because it's extremely heavy. So that's basically today's update. There's really not much to show in the fish room right now. The original fish room anyway, it's pretty much a mess at this moment, but right now this is where we stand. Thank you for watching day 1 of the fish room move. Please like and subscribe if you like what you see. Thanks a lot.